Hello everyone, I'm Colin Cadet. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. Today I'm going to show you how to make what is probably the most economical Moxon vise you could ever make for your workshop. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I know there's many who follow my channel that aren't subscribed. Just to remind you, it is free and you can cancel anytime, so it's something you might want to consider. Let's get busy making this Moxon vise. So for those of you who are a little vague as to what a Moxon vise is, basically it's usually two pieces of wood and they come together in a variety of ways. Sometimes there's screws that move them together, sometimes there's clamps, lots of different things. And these date back to the 1600s, so this isn't anything new. And there's lots of different kinds of Moxon vices that you can make. Today I'm using some construction grade 2x6s and I'm going to show you how to cut them up and make your own Moxon vise. Now usually a Moxon vise will sit somewhere at bench level or near bench level. Sometimes they sit higher. This one's going to be a higher one and you can adjust it to whatever size you want. Now, as I'm working away here, I should tell you, this is not my design. This is something somebody sent me. Tony sent me this, and I've not seen it anywhere else. So I thought it would be something interesting for you to have a look at. So I've got two pieces of construction grade lumber 2x6s, and you can see that I planed them down a little bit to make them flat. This one is 24 inches long. This one is 32 inches, and that leaves me 4 inches on each side, and I'm going to be cutting a part of it out. So I'm making a line here and a line here, and I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to make another one down here like this. And I don't know if you can see those lines. I'm going to blacken them for you so you can see that. There's one there and one there. You can see that I've got a couple of holes drilled here, and that's just because it was some utility. So I'm going to cut this out at the bandsaw. Okay, now I need to drill 4 holes here, and I want them to be the same on the top and the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I've set my measuring gauge here, my marking gauge, at a half, sort of whatever the half of this 2x6 is, which is, in this case, it's 5 inches. So I'm at 2.5 inches. I'm going to be going in 6 inches on each side, but I don't want these boards to move around on me when I do the drill holes, because I want to go through both of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill and put a couple of screws in, one in each side, just to stop it from moving around. All right, now I need to drill holes, and I'm going to come in on both of these. I think I'll come in at 5 inches, and I can make these longer if I want later on, but I'm going to start off with 5 inches, and because I need to make some slots in here. You'll see that in a minute. So I'm going over to my drill press now, and I'm going to drill a hole here and a hole here. So there's 4 holes. So as you can see, I've got my drill press fence here, and I've got it set up so that as I move this all the way along, I can get all of those 4 holes all exactly in the same plane. So that's going to be easy to do. The only problem is I'm not going to be able to drill all the way through both of these pieces of wood here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill holes sort of into the second one, and then I'll have to take the top one off. I'm not going to show you the whole process because you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to go ahead and start drilling these holes. So as you can see, I'm back at the bandsaw here, and there's the 4 or two of the holes that I cut out on one side here, and of course I've got two on the other side. And you can see that I've drawn some lines with pencil in here, and those are the lines I want to run the bandsaw blade. I want them to try and come in just under those holes there, so I cut that slot out of there. So I'll show you cutting one of them, and then I'll go ahead and finish the rest of them. Now I should tell you before I start cutting, none of the cutting that I'm doing or drilling is all that critical. It's just that I'm a bit fussy about it. So. Okay, so at this point, this vise is made. This is all there is to it. There's your front and your back jaws. You can see I've got the slots cut in there. And like everything else, there's pros and cons to it. The nice thing that I like about this, I don't use a Moxon vise very often, but when I want one, I don't have one. So for this, I can set this up because it's temporary. It doesn't attach to my workbench. Only when I use it. So, and here's how it works. Basically, we take the back part, and this was the purpose of these tabs here, is we can take those now, and now we can clamp this to our workbench. I'm going to do that front and back. And for the front of the vise, we use clamps again, and that's the reason that I was a little fussy on these slots here. I wanted them to be fairly thin because I have thin bar clamps. And look at, that's it. That's the clamp. So, you know, where do you want to be clamping? What do you want to put in there? And you can move this back and forth quickly and tighten it up like that. I was concerned when I saw Tony's pictures of this, I was concerned, well, this is kind of in my way here, but look at, you can take this and turn this around like that. Look at that. And now you have actually less material out here. Many Moxon vices have big wheels and so on here. Cranks and so on. The other thing I like about this is there's some play here back and forth on how, you know, how and where you can clamp this, so you can put different pieces in here. So I just thought this was for what it costs, which is a you know, construction grade 2x6 and clamps that you probably already have, and now you have a Moxon vise. And I even like the height of it, because for me, when I'm planing, this is the height that I don't want to be too low. I want to be a little bit higher up. I feel much more comfortable at that. So that's a great idea. I really like that. So thanks for sending that along, Tony. So just for fun, now that I have this already set up, let's see how it planes. It holds the wood really nice. I'm surprised how well it works. Well, that concludes my video for today. How to make a Moxon vise for your workbench for almost nothing, the cost of a little bit of lumber. And you know what? When I put this on here and clamped it down, it is rock solid. You know, it's as solid as your workbench. So if you've got a good solid workbench, this will work just fine on it. But you know, I also did another video on different accessories and things that you can do with your workbench that involve other kinds of vices and what you can do with those. I made that video about 4 years ago. I'll put a link to it right there. You'll be able to go and have a quick look at it. And maybe there's some other interesting things that you can do while you're in the process of making your own Moxon vise and attaching it to your own workbench. I'm Colin Canet for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching.